As we reach the end of 2023, I want to make sure to cover what is arguably the most popular flavor, corruption. I mean, it makes sense. Most cultures have very stringent norms and mores when it comes to what are seen as acceptable forms of sex and sexuality. Corruption is often used as a narrative tool to help transcend these restrictions. But this is one of my list videos, not an in-depth exploration of the corruption flavor. Maybe next time. As always, all links can be found for free on my Patreon because the only corruption YouTube wants you to explore is from their advertisers. First up, we have Star Nidus Aura. I covered this RPG earlier this week, and it is a really interesting take on the isekai trope. Our main character lives their normal life each day, while each night they are transported to another world in order to defeat the Demon King. Some of the corruption mechanics take place in the isekai world, but the majority of this flavor happens as the demon inside our heroine's brain slowly changes the heroine's personality. Star Nidus Aura is available for PC, Mac, Linux, and Android on Patreon and itch.io with a demo available on Steam. Sticking with rewiring brains, we have Inside of You. This is a near future where most people have cybernetic chips installed in their heads. What happens if someone figures out a way to bypass the security of the chips and slowly modify people's personalities? Obviously, we get a corruption game. This title was completed earlier this year and has two main paths that lead to either a harem ending or, let's call it, a more free ending. Inside of You is available for PC, Mac, and Linux on their Patreon. Next up is one of the most popular completed Steam games of the past few years, Cotton's Prison. The main character is the warden of a broken-down prison in a fantasy world full of rebellious inmates. You have to help regain order while rebuilding the various parts of the prison and suppressing the prisoners. There is an incredibly intricate system of flavors to unlock in this game as you help Cotton fully explore the corruption theme. Cotton's Prison is available for PC on Steam, DL Site, and itch.io. I found our next title, A Rift in the Crypt, unusual as it involves the simultaneous corruption of a heroic couple. Our two heroes have been captured by the Demon King, who separates them, and requires that they play a game that feels a lot like Saw, just with a different kind of corruption and zero amputations. I'm not sure if that counts as a spoiler. A Rift in the Crypt is available for PC on DL Site with a fan translation on Psyche Studios' Patreon. Another game with a heroic couple is Amelia Blanchett Falls Over and Over Again. In this case, you play as a male MC sent to investigate a magical school with your partner Amelia. Somehow you get caught in a time loop and repeat the same week over and over. Amelia remembers nothing from each repetition, but her personality slowly changes depending on what happens to her each week. Can you solve this mystery in time to save your loved one, or will you try to speed up the change? Amelia Blanchett Falls Over and Over Again is available for PC on DL Site with a fan translation on Dazed Anon's Patreon. In Succubus Contract, you get to explore a very different kind of duality. RMC starts as a male character and is transformed into a female character by a succubus. Now you have to harvest essence in order to meet the terms of your contract. How will this end up? We'll hopefully find out in Succubus Contract 2. Succubus Contract is available for PC, Mac, Linux, and Android on Patreon and itch.io. Our next title, Alonzia Chronicles Fleeting Iris, is a tough one for me to classify. Is this primarily a corruption game, or is it mostly an NTR game? Can you even have an NTR game without corruption? I'm not sure about that, but I am sure that this game explores both of these flavors in depth. As a heads up, the developer has told me that the completed Patreon version has way more content than what you can currently get on Steam. Alonzia Chronicles Fleeting Iris is available for PC on their Patreon. Next up, we have a game that is currently exclusive to DL Site, Nightmare Night, Holy Night, and the Magic of Lust. This completed title is only available in Japanese, but given how well it has sold this year, I hope to see an English localization available in 2024. Nightmare Night, Holy Night, and the Magic of Lust is available for PC on DL Site. I was surprised that I couldn't find many newer games that explore infestation and corruption, like our next title, Slugs and Bugs Conversion. Intergalactic space bugs have invaded the Earth and are dedicated to assimilating the entire planet. In this turn-based strategy trainer hybrid, you are on Team Bug. So, unfortunately, I can't make any jokes about joining the mobile infantry. Slugs and Bugs Conversion is available for PC, Mac, SteamOS and Linux, on Steam with an Android version on their Patreon and itch.io. And finally, we have Demon's Roots. This has been one of the quiet hits of 2023, and you can expect to hear me talk about this again on the year-end lists. I don't want to spoil what this game is about, as the story is absolutely the best part of Demon's Roots. However, I will say that the corruption in this game is very different from anything else on this list, both from a psychological as well as a physical perspective. Demon's Roots is available for PC on Steam, DLSite, and GOG, with a patch that you can get on either GOG or Kagra's website. There you have it. This is the last flavor list of 2023, and I wanted to make sure that I went with a popular one. Let me know what your favorite corruption game is, and why I should cover it next year. I am expecting some fans of Demon's Roots to say, "Annie, this isn't a corruption game," but my response is that it depends on what you see as being corrupted. Until next time, no shaming, just gaming. Thanks to all this month's support on Patreon. I wouldn't have been able to do this without you all.